Hi guys, welcome. Like I told you, I'll be meeting a couple of guys who are in the tourism industry just to discuss on how COVID-19 has affected the tourism industry. So we are here at Uhuru Park, and I'm with my friend Keitan. He runs a tour company called Keitan Safaris. So we're going to discuss this. We start with the introduction. You tell us what you do and how COVID-19 has affected your industry, the hospitality and tourism industry.
Okay. My name is Keitan, also known as Kevin Owino, and I run Keitan Safaris. So Keitan Safaris is a tours and travel company based in Nairobi. So I think of all the industries, the tourism and the hospitality industry has been the most affected by COVID-19. Because as you all know, once the virus was confirmed in Kenya, there were a lot of flight cancellations, a lot of bookings on accommodation and trips were cancelled, and that really affected the business because people are afraid to travel because travel involves a lot of social activities. Guys coming together, going for a game drive or spending in accommodation in a place where food they're served in groups or more than 10 people, 20, and even more. So that really affected our business. And right now, the industry is trying to recover slowly by slowly, and we hope we are going to now have to live with the virus and try and just make sure that we put up the measures as advised by the ministries, the Ministry of Health and the government. They provide protocols on what to do, and I think that is going to be the way forward from now henceforth.
Okay, moving forward, I'm sure this thing has really hit the tourism industry the hardest. Okay, moving forward, what strategies do you guys have just to help the industry recover and come back to normal?
Okay. First of all, let me say that during this period of the virus of the pandemic, it gave us a chance to be creative, to be more creative, to think outside the box on what we can do as an industry to come up with packages that are COVID compliant, so to say, like reducing the number of seats in a vehicle to ensure social distance and also sanitization, hygiene in the hospitality industry, that is in the hotels and the vehicles, car hire, and all that. So COVID-19 has really challenged us to try and become creative and find ways through which we can still travel and still make sure that people are not affected by the disease. And also, apart from that, the strategies that we have right now, we're trying to do a lot of marketing because many people are at home, so they're able to scroll through their phone and see that this company exists. Because if we just go silent, then the clients, most of them will think that the company is dead or the travel is no more. But we do a lot of marketing during this time, and we are also thinking of packages that are close by, because Nairobi right now is under a partial lockdown. So it means that we are not able to move out of the metropolitan. So what we are doing, we are coming up with packages within the metropolitan. So we have been able to look into other destinations that can be explored around, because it will take quite a while before we are able to get out of the country or get out of the county, and also a lot will change even after COVID. So those are some of the strategies we have put in place, and I believe they're going to work.
Okay, moving forward, as you know, the tourism industry has always been affected by so many things.
Yes.
Talk of Al-Shabaab, talk of political instability in the country, and remember that 2022 we have an election in this country. So what measures, what strategies do you guys have that will help you guys overcome the politics in the country? Because once we have politics, the industry, the graph of the industry goes down. So what strategies, what measures do you guys have in place?
Okay, now since politics and all the pandemic and terrorism affects tourism a lot, at the moment for us as a Kenyan Safaris, we are going to focus mostly on domestic tourism. Yeah, that is going to be our main focus because international travel is going to be affected big time. And as I said before, it may take long before it recovers or before we go back to normalcy with international travel. But local or domestic tourism has stood out even the test of time when there are clashes, when there is terrorism. At least there are still people traveling locally and domestically. So I think we're going to focus more on domestic tourism, and also we're going to pick like the safe places to go to, because if an area is affected by clashes, it would not be advisable to go to that area. But there are places that as well people can still go, even when the country is big. So if one place is affected, another place may not necessarily be affected. So we try and focus on those destinations that are not going to be affected and come up with creative ideas and packages of the same.
So what about, talk of domestic tourism. I heard the other day that the Ministry of Tourism is trying to has marshaled funds that will help promote domestic tourism. So far, what have you seen? What has Magical Kenya done to show tour operators that they are serious and they are trying to push the domestic market, or rather the local tourism to thrive?
Okay, it may still be early to talk about what the Kenya Tourism Board is doing, but I've just seen so far a lot of meetings online via Zoom, the webinars and all that. But I can say that if they can invest in a lot of marketing, because Kenyans are willing to travel, and yes, they can travel. They have proved that. You can see right now many of them are flocking to Nairobi National Park, and it's an indication that given a chance they can travel. But maybe they don't know these destinations, or maybe they're not well informed. So Kenya Tourism Board can do marketing of the same, market the places and give information of the places, and also improve on the access, because some places are great destinations, but accessibility is quite a problem. And also security, the government can work on that to ensure that the places people visit are safe.
So the other day I saw we did a trip, basically a trip just within the city,
Yeah.
the city center.
City tour.
City, it was a city tour. So how was it? Because normally when you talk of city tour, tour operators, they know that a city tour is museum, Nairobi National Park, David Chedrick, but you did it differently. So how was it, and which places did you visit?
Okay, we did a city tour within Nairobi, and we were learning history through monuments. Nairobi has several monuments. We have some along the city square. We have others in the area of Central Park, Uhuru Park, Jivanjee Gardens. So we were able to learn through these monuments what our history has been and how our history has been through those monuments. And it was also fascinating because we learned a lot of facts that we didn't know. We didn't know about where the first office of the East African Protectorate is. We got to learn that. We got to do activities at Uhuru Park. We did a boat ride. We did horse riding, and also just relaxing at the park. And I think the city is assumed, yeah? The city is beautiful and it has rich history that can be explored. So yeah, Kenyans should stop assuming the city and explore the city that they live in.
So moving forward, where do you see Ketan Safaris in 5 years?
We have big plans. We just don't want to stick to Tembea Kenya for a long time. We are thinking big. We were thinking of going international, and mostly we want to be passing information, like coming up with production on documenting places around the world. Like we want to travel all over the world, in all the countries in the world, and document those places and showcase them to the world. Yeah, so that's our big plan for the future.
Thanks so much. Thanks for giving us your time.
Yes.
We hope to see you on the road very soon.
Thank you too.
Once this thing has, once the curve has flattened, the curve of the COVID-19.
Okay, thank you too, and it was a pleasure doing this short interview. Thank you.
So I've taken a matatu from town to Eastleigh. I'm going to meet another tour driver just to share his opinion on our topic, basically how COVID has affected his work and how he's coping up. So this is his car. We are just getting to his place now. He's opening the gate. He has a Safari 4x4 Land Cruiser. So let's wait for someone to open for us. Now, welcome, Mr. Alfred.
Thank you.
Thanks for giving us the time to have this conversation. It's a very big conversation because I know tourism industry is the industry that has been affected much. It's the hardest hit industry, and it's the only industry that is going to take a lot of time to recover. So yeah, so now I just wanted to find out, how are you coping up with the COVID thing, and basically I'm sure you have a family. How are you able to manage the whole thing, because you haven't been at work for the last 3 months?
Okay, thank you, Dennis. First of all, to start with, it has been very hard for us since February till now. We haven't had any safari, any work to do. We're talking about 0 safaris. I've never witnessed such a pandemic like this. I've been in this industry since 2007 till now. We had post-election violences. We've had the Westgate attack. We've had the Westgate attack by the Al-Shabaab. There we spent 1 year.
Okay.
2007,
Yeah.
2 years without work, but at least there was something people could do. There was a little bit of safaris. With the COVID-19 case now, we are talking about 0 safaris.
Okay.
Even if you had saved maybe 2 million, 1 million, the whole of your family is at home, nobody's working.
Okay.
In about 5 to 8 months, you will have spent all the money.
Yeah.
Now we are looking forward to our government to give us the solutions on how we could come up with a solution to work with COVID, with COVID-19
Yeah.
and clients.
So, talking about government, has government done anything so far just to help tour operators to survive? I heard the other day that the government has put aside some money to do marketing. So, I don't know from your end, have you heard anything from the government? Have you seen the government doing something?
No, not yet. It's only that the last few days, I think it was a week ago, we did our budget. Tourism industry was allocated 2 billion for the tourism marketing strategies. Now, the government hasn't really done anything big enough to come up with a solution on how we could work with the COVID-19 with us, because I think so this pandemic, it's not going to end anytime very soon. We have to have a way on how we could come with a solution to work with COVID-19 with us.
So, as a freelance tour guide, and I understand you're very good in French.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to know. So, which are your markets? Which are the markets that you depend on? Is it Asia, China, or is it European markets, or the American market? Which kind of clients do you mostly depend on? From which country?
Basically Europe,
Yeah.
and to be specific, France, because I'm a French tour guide. I've specialized in the French language ever since 2007.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, now moving forward, what are your prospects in the next 3 months? Do you have something coming up? Do you have clients who are talking to you? What are your prospects moving forward?
As for now, well, I'm talking about from February. I had a lot of bookings,
Yeah.
starting on 15th June, going all the way till December.
Yeah.
And normally I work with an agent by the name Syria Kenya here in Kenya.
Okay.
They are based in Mombasa, in the coastal town of Kenya, in Mombasa, and they have several agents in France. The information we are getting from the agent is very negative,
Yeah.
because the safaris which were from July stretching all the way till August have been cancelled. We don't know now about September.
Okay.
We hope for September, but basically we are talking about cancellation all the way from July until late August.
Okay. So basically, this year is like you guys don't have anything at all.
This year is basically finished.
Okay.
It's an year of a pandemic year. We don't know how we are going to survive the 6 coming months until end of this year, December. But we hope for the best. Maybe we are going to do something in September, October, November there.
So what about the local market? I've seen so many posters of guys marketing the Nairobi National Park, because I understand most of the parts in Kenya have been under cessation, so guys are not allowed to move from one county to another. So I don't know if you've been able to do the 1 or 2 safaris for Nairobi National Park, and how is it for you?
Well, I've been lucky. I've done 2 safaris in the Nairobi National Park. They were good safaris, very nice safaris, 6 hours of gaming. But the problem with our local market here is that the prices, everybody is coming up with his or her own price.
Yeah.
We're talking about Land Cruisers, 4x4s. We have minivans.
Yeah.
But like as for me, I'm only based with the Land Cruiser.
Okay.
The price is a bit higher.
Okay.
We've done some safaris, no doubt. We've done some safaris, no doubt. But the market price, it's a bit competitive. We're talking about 2,000 to 3,000 vehicles based in Nairobi.
So with that, I think there's also the fact of pollution, and the park is. I think the park is overstressed because most of the guys are going there like every other weekend, and some of them I hear they do litter a lot.
Yes.
Is that true?
That is very true. Not leave alone pollution, even sound pollution. Some of these guys are coming inside the national reserve, national park, with their own private cars. They don't obey the park rules. They litter everywhere. They do their game drives while drinking alcohol, creating some disturbance to the other guests as well as the animals. That's why we want at least the KWS to come up with a solution to regulate the number of people who should go inside the park at a specific time.
Okay. Now, what about now moving forward? What strategies do you have moving forward? Because I'm sure after COVID, you need to strategize so that you can survive in the industry. So I don't know what strategies you put in place. Since you're a freelancer, you must have your own strategies that once the country, the borders have been opened, now you start getting tourists from different parts of the world.
First of all, to start with, our association as East African Tour Guides Association, from 22nd Monday next week, we're going to have driver guide courses. This is whereby we are going to have some training on how to handle clients, on how to handle your jeep after each and every safari, sanitize, wash it properly, so that to get it ready for the next client. So it's going to be tough for us, but we hope for the best. We are going to come up with a solution.
So talk of domestic market, because for the next just before the year ends, I think guys will be surviving on the domestic market. How do you find the domestic market? Is it profitable, or is it you just work for
hand to mouth?
Yeah.
Well, I can say it's not totally hand to mouth. We are making a bit of profit, but not compared to the foreign market, because their prices have been slashed to half. For instance, to hire this jeep for a day, it will take a foreigner $200 to $250 per day. Now we introduce that amount to the local tourist here in Kenya, the domestic tourist. Obviously they'll start complaining because they're used to vans, to minivans for their safaris. So it's going to affect us, the driver guides who are driving the bigger ones, the jeeps, more than the other guides who are driving minivans. But I think you're going to come some of the agencies, local agencies like Bonfire here in Kenya. I think they are going to regulate and come up with a better price for them, because I don't think this season the great migration in the Masai Mara and Serengeti is already happening. It has already started. It's now 2 weeks. We hope that after the 6th of July, when the cessation is going to come to an end, I think by mid July or early August, we are going to have some people traveling to Masai Mara.
Are you sure the cessation of movement will end on the 6th of July, or the president will extend it?
That surely I cannot say. I cannot say. That's why I cannot say. That's why I'm telling you. It's to my hope that it will come to an end.
Okay. So talking of the migration, now this year, because I understand that you guys always enjoy that part of the year where the gnu's migrate from Tanzania to Kenyan side. So how is it going to be this year? Because now you guys cannot move, you guys cannot go to Masai Mara, you guys cannot basically work.
Since 1960, when the park was opened, Masai Mara, till now, they've never witnessed such a thing like what we are witnessing right now. The gnus are crossing, no vehicle, no tourist, all the hotels are closed. Some of them are washed away by the big floods we had in the month of March. I don't know what's going to happen, but we hope for the best that maybe in August something is going to happen, and some people are going to have an experience of a lifetime, going to the Masai Mara and watching the wildebeest coming to Kenya, crossing the river. And this time round, it's quite unfortunate because the levels of water at the Mara River have risen. It's not like the past 2 to 3 years ago. The water level was very low. Hardly the wildebeest could not swim. They were just crossing while walking. At this time round, we've had so much rain. There's a lot of water in the Mara River. It will have been a very nice scenery to see the wildebeest.
Mr. Nyakundi. So I don't know, how is the industry right now? How is COVID taking you guys? How are you guys coping up with how things are going right now? Because like I understand, there are no tourists anymore. So I don't know how you guys are coping with this disease.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. Actually, this is the hardest moment in our industry. I can say now it's on its knees because I've been in this industry for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I've never seen something like this.
Okay.
So we are hoping and trusting that things will get well soon, which we don't know when. So we are anticipating maybe 2-3 months time, but now then again it will be after the season, because now this is the time that our season starts, the high season. Now it has started with this COVID. If it goes for 2-3 months from now, then by the time it's over, and we find that also our season, our industry, our tourist season is over. So we are praying and anticipating that things will get well soon.
So as someone who is in the tourism industry, since right now you guys are not working, so what are you guys doing at the moment? How are you guys surviving? I'm sure you have families. How are things on your end? Because I'm sure it's difficult. But
Actually, it's a very nice question. This is our hardest moment. We were expecting to get some kind of help from the government, but up to now we have not seen anything forthcoming, and we don't see it coming. Because there is an article I read in the South African. They have a program where they are trying to assist their tour guides, but it has not reached here in our country.
so, okay, now I don't know what strategies do you guys have. Once COVID has ended, because I'm sure must be having strategies that will help you once this thing has passed. What strategies do you guys have?
The moment the government announces that the COVID is over, we will go and start from scratch, from where we left. Most probably we'll start with our local tourists. We try to do some marketing. That, I think, is first step. From there now, as things looks like, maybe for the international tourists, maybe it will be 1 or 2 years from now.
So, talking about domestic tourism, I heard that the government has plans of doing or rather pushing the domestic market, and just doing a lot of marketing so that guys can domestic tourists can start traveling. Has it commenced or they're just waiting for things to open up so that they can start marketing?
As you know, Nairobi is the hub of everything. Once Nairobi is on lockdown, so it's like there's nothing that is going on. Until when they open up Nairobi, is when maybe things will start to progress. My fellow guides, they are planning to do a fact-finding mission to the Masai Mara to see what's going on, because we have some information that for the last 2 weeks the wild beasts have just been streaming in. So they wanted to go and find out, take a lot of pictures, put them on social media, showcasing what's going on. So we are actually waiting for the government to open up Nairobi, is when now most of the things will be planned for.
Then I heard that a lot of guys are going to the Nairobi National Park. I'm sure it's right now it's congested, and because everyone is going there right now. How is business? How are they doing it?
Right now, I myself have not had the opportunity to go inside, but I spoke to my colleagues. They told me that there are lots of people inside, but now again they introduced these plastic bottles and papers, these polythene papers. They are no longer allowed to go inside the park. So I think if they put stringent measures on the rules of getting inside, then our nature will be conserved. Yeah.
So basically, for the last 3 months, you want to tell me that you haven't worked yourself?
The last time, from 2nd of March, I've been just in the house doing nothing, because the last safari I did was on 2nd of March. From there, I've just been in the house. Now it's becoming, every day the situation is becoming complicated, because now it's in the next maybe 1 or 2 months I'll not be able to raise my house rent. Even for my upkeep, it's going to be a challenge, and my family.
So on a tour operator perspective, how do you see things in the next 3, 4 months, or even 6 months? What is your prospect?
Actually, I can say for this year, it's quite unpredictable, since you see for the this month of June has been the highest, the peak, I can say the peak month for the COVID-19, because the cases have been rising every day. So if it goes on like this, it will be very unpredictable to say when things are going to stabilize.
So normally, what markets do you depend on? Do you depend on the Chinese market, or do you depend on the European market or the American market?
Actually, 80% we depend on the European market, and then we have 20% goes to the American and Chinese market. Though the Chinese only do come for 2 months, and then they disappear.
Okay, so looking forward in terms of because tourism has been, most of the time, actually it's the hardest in the hit industry at the moment, because basically everything has gone down. Guys are not traveling anymore, and even when things open up, there will still be social distance, because as we speak, we haven't gotten the vaccine for the disease yet. So moving forward, because I understand in Kenya you have an election coming up in 2022. So do you still see this thing being affected, or rather do you see the tourism industry affected by politics again? Because I think this year is already done, and there's nothing much you can do. So I'm sure you're looking at 2021, and again 2022 there's politics. So do you see politics affecting the industry again?
It's I can say it's 50-50, but there's this initiative of the government by Building Bridges initiative.
Okay.
If it goes on well the way they are planning it, then we might not experience a lot of chaos.
Okay.
If the government implements it fully the way it's marketing it. But if it doesn't go well, then 2021, 2022, there might be a lot of chaos, and then now, so we anticipate the tourism industry to get back to its norm from maybe 2023 onwards.
Wow, that's crazy, because for those guys who are fully dependent on the industry will suffer a lot.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for giving us your time. I'm sure you're busy. Tell me, how are things? How is the industry right now? What strategies do you guys have post-COVID? Because I understand right now guys are not traveling, but we are hoping for the best. Guys, once things start opening up, guys will start traveling. So I don't know what strategies you guys have moving forward after this thing has passed.
Well, thank you for inviting me to your YouTube channel, Dennis. Well, I mean, this thing has affected obviously the whole of the hospitality industry, all the players, and it has a very serious impact. Of course, we don't have any income coming in. A lot of communities that were depending on tourism are suffering.
Yeah.
Especially in the Mara and Samburu. And okay, right now most of the guys are focusing on selling what we can, what is within our borders, and we are targeting the domestic market. But we are hoping that once things open up, people will be tired, and I know people are tired and frustrated being at home, and they would want to get out.
Yeah.
So that's what we are really counting on.
Yeah.
And we hope we can recover sooner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, tell me from a tour operator perspective, how, um, what are the prospects? Do you have cancellations? Do you basically how how are things on your side? Are you paying your employees at the moment, or have you sent them home? Are they working from home?
Well, the situation is quite bad, so we had to send people home.
So, okay, now, what about the government? How is the government helping the tourism industry to come back to normal? I'm talking about the Kenya government, the Ministry of Tourism, and the Minister Najib Balala. He's been he's been trying as so much to help the industry grow, but I don't know what is he doing now that will help the industry come back.
Well, honestly, I would prefer things they just open up at least the borders within Kenya, because look at Tanzania. They actually yesterday they got a flight from Qatar Airways which had a lot of foreigners, and they're actually saying it's going to help their tourism a lot. So that shows once you open up things, I think people are going to come, because let's face it, COVID is not going away anytime soon, and we just have to live with it the way we've been living with TB and other diseases. I mean, other diseases even kill more people more than corona. So that's what I want to see from the Kenyan government. And as for the, let's say, Kenya Tourism Board, and I don't really see much happening, to be honest. Even in terms of marketing online, you just see a few posts here and there, but I don't feel they're aggressive enough in marketing this country, because we have everything.
Yeah.
We have everything. Kenya is one of the best tourism destinations in the world. But you find still places like Egypt, who have pyramids, are making more from tourism than we are. And so I want to see more.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I think that's the truth, at least from my end. And yes, of course, we've had a lot of cancellations, but at least some of the people have said they're willing to push it to next year.
Okay.
So hopefully next year will be better, and they can actually come and enjoy their safari with us.
Okay.
And in a different perspective,
Yeah.
this has also helped the environment to rejuvenate, if I may say. And also it gives us a chance to change things.
Okay.
When we get back to work, we can do things differently, because this sheds the light in a totally different manner. Like there's so many things when you're now outside here, you feel we need to change in the industry and with all the players, and also for people who want to do tourism in the future.
Yeah.
As you know, this industry is pretty volatile in terms of, in the past few years we've had a lot of terrorism affecting it, and election violence. Now we have corona. So if you are a young person who wants to get into tourism, I would suggest you have a plan B.
Okay.
because as we are suffering now, then actually even help people to wake up and see that you do need something else to support you. You can't rely on just tourism.
Okay.
So that would be my advice to younger people who want to join the industry. And yeah.
So talking of elections, right now we have the COVID thing, and it has already affected the industry.
Yes.
So we are hoping that things will start picking up maybe next year.
Yes.
But again, we in Kenya we have an election coming up in 2022. So, and as you know, tourism is usually very delicate. It's a delicate industry. So does it mean that also when elections come up, the industry will still go down and you guys will still suffer the same? Or what strategies do you guys have to overcome that?
Well, if you go as for the last election, everything went smoothly. I mean, there wasn't violence like the previous one. So I am hoping. I mean, we have learned the hard way that tribalism and fighting with your neighbors does not help anyone or the country or anything. So we are hoping, and I really think it's just gonna be run smoothly because we've learned our lessons, and hopefully it's not gonna affect the industry like before.
So after a productive day interviewing different players in the tourism industry, now it's time to go home, and there's traffic jam. But yeah, I'm hoping to get home before the curfew time. Well, if you like my video, please subscribe, like and comment to help me create more of these videos. So bye. In French we say au revoir. Nous allons rencontrer à tout à l'heure. Bye.